laugh because I did laugh a little, and then I held it in because I couldn't do it. I was in between like two people. All right, do you want to do a live reaction
Yeah, yeah,
on the
we could
pod or like
yeah.
or before? Okay. Do you want to show what I'm seeing post production or like
Yeah,
yeah post
I'll
production
put
probably?
it post production. Just
Okay.
have the audio playing a little bit, like so we can hear.
I wonder how I can. Okay, I'd have to like adjust that, I guess. Oh, I could play on my phone. Right, right, right. Well, this thing doesn't. Let's see if it will, because sometimes it doesn't pick up unless my voice is. Okay, hold on. Can you hear without my voice? Wait. Experienced something before this, so we're sure as hell not like fresh out the womb. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You
Oh
can start the
shit.
pod. This will be
Okay.
the hook, I guess.
Oh my god.
This is like the shittiest idea, but I like it. What's up? Welcome back to the Quadcast, everybody at Gwad. Thank you for 7 subscribers. I've been noticing that you guys have been summing up lately, and I've been seeing the comments from XG Hamon. Is that how you say it, Jeremy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. The support is unreal. We're about to hit 20 subs. That's the goal. And I did a face reveal in the community tab, which you guys can see at any moment. And I also have polls. We're doing community stuff daily.
We're stepping up our
Our quality,
audience interaction.
as you can see,
As you can
Jeremy
see,
speak,
I'm free.
as you
You
can
can.
see, he's leveling up. We're leveling up
Yes,
the
sir.
quality. What comes next is the visuals. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Subscribe, and you will see the progression of this channel. And when your loyalty will pay off, we'll notice. Right? If you're listening from Spotify, SoundCloud, whatever we're on, welcome. And if you're on YouTube, uh, put a comment down below so we can remember you and we can probably feature you in a video for being a loyal subscriber.
Yep.
Now, going into the video, um, Jeremy here sent me our new short, which we're pumping out shorts. We have one so far, although we have another one coming out,
It's already up.
which is a new idea. Okay, it's already out, right? And I'm about to react to it because I haven't actually seen it myself. So I'm about to do a live reaction here. All right. Get ready.
All right.
Here, I'm playing it. We're sure as hell not like fresh out the womb, so we have a life. We've experienced something before this, so. Jeremy's an artist, and I'm kind of an amateur artist, really. I tried animating. He's animated way better shit than me. John Fork is calling. Yeah. Where's the Subway Surfers? You had to have added Subway Surfers. No! Our viewers aren't gonna watch if there's not Family Guy and Subway Surfers playing.
We'll do all that for the next short.
My husband divorced me because he had 7 million power. This video is sponsored by Rise of Kingdoms. Join using our link and get 600 gold and 20 billion power. Guys, if you want to see us get 20 million power, hit that sub button right now. Okay. Now, out of all seriousness, that's out of the way. We actually do have a list of topics here that we're about to dive into.
But before we get
Jeremy has
into
been
them,
talking.
before
Okay.
we get into them, join the Discord because if you're joining it, you're the first ever subscriber to join it. That's not someone who knows us in real life. Just think about that. You'll be the first Gwad subscriber in the server. Do it.
Exactly. And we'll feature you in a video eventually. We just need to get professional so that you don't look bad on our show.
I'll start with I'll start with my YouTube journey since it like it kind of represents who I am now that I have an actual voice on this channel
That's right.
and I'm
And
not
it's not this
suppressed.
channel. It's his channel in the channel. If you go to the channel section of this podcast channel, you can find his channel, and that's the channel he's
Can
talking
you?
about. Yeah, I added it now.
Oh, that's pretty cool. All right. Well, I am Glazed Watermelon. Where
AKA.
where does that? Well, AKA Jeremy. So I started YouTube at
Right.
like it was definitely elementary school. It was
He was a
either
band kid.
no, actually wait.
He started it in band class.
Just know it ranged from third grade to fifth grade. I don't remember which grade exactly it was when I started it. I'm pretty sure it was fifth grade. But I started with the name GWHD. And
HD?
yeah,
I didn't I didn't know how to pronounce it. So I called it Gwad, which is what we use now. And I
that's
didn't stop
it's
calling it
basically
Gwad. That's where we got
this
Gwad.
is like this is basically the
Yeah.
origin of Gwad. So my original channel name was GWHD, and that comes from Glazed Watermelon HD. And I got Glazed Watermelon from my older brother. So like
What?
ever since I was a child,
No
watermelon
way.
has been like my
No way.
favorite. I don't know why. I just obsessed over it, and
Hong Kong?
it became my thing. And glaze just came out of fucking the glaze part came from my older brother, and it was just born. And HD, I got the idea for like the 4 letter YouTube name as like to have a long name and then it be combined into 4 letters from this other Minecraft YouTuber that I watched at the time,
Which was
which was his name was Adventure Gaming HQ, which he called himself AGHQ. I'm pretty sure he still makes videos, but it was like he used to make like Minecraft Pocket Edition videos, which like because back
oh
then we were broke, you know, we only had Minecraft on the mobile devices, so like I would always watch that to like see all the cool shit I could do on my phone while not like having access to like the real Minecraft or whatever. But yeah, that's where I got the name GWHD.
Hello there! Welcome to Adventure Gaming HQ, and welcome back to another Minecraft Pocket Edition video. Today we're playing some more mini games. It's been a really long time. And this time we're doing some item golf, which is actually an idea that was not made up by me. It was actually made up by a Twitter follower. Here's his tweet right now. And the tweet didn't really say much. It just shows a video of him taking a slime ball and throwing it into a hole while bouncing it off some slime. So what I did was I thought this has a lot more potential. So what I've done is
that's where you got the name.
So
The
basically,
name.
I started my videos. I started with like how to get free games like on your phone.
How to get free games on your phone.
Yeah, like
I know that
like
you
games.
uploaded the fork knife.
That was after. That's a arc later in the future. But I started with like I don't know if you guys know what VShare is. It's like a thing where you can get free games that
What?
supposedly like that costs
Is it
money.
legal?
We don't gotta go into that, but I was a kid. I was like a scammer.
I was
You
a kid.
no, I wasn't a scammer.
Game little
I was
kids.
just showing I just wanted views
Not
back then, so I just recorded anything I wanted to, and like it was so hard back then, bro, to record on like with just the phone. I had an iPad Mini, so like just to get a screen recorder app, you had to go through like so many steps. It was like a fucking I forgot what it was called, like the software I used, but you had to like download it off of Safari because this was before
Mm,
iOS released their own screen recording shit. To get it, you had to. I think it was someone had to share with you like a code to download the fucking just to download the screen recorder app.
what? Oh, you're making a
Yeah.
hole in yourself by buying an iPad.
What do you
If
mean?
you're watching on an iPad, unsubscribe right now.
I was just looking for shit that would like get me like popular, you know.
Here's a click later.
So I added DIY to my channel name, and that's when I like started to do real life videos where I would just do random shit. Like I wouldn't even fucking do DIY shit. Like I would barely do that. And whenever I did do gaming videos, I would have to record with my phone camera. Like I had to set it up so that it would record like my TV screen
Making
or
it so hard on yourself.
my Switch screen or whatever. Cuz I had the Switch.
You
This
can't
was
be a
in like
YouTuber correctly.
2017.
Isn't Apple like $999?
It was an iPad mini, all right? This was
I
like
went into debt.
I had no experience.
Bought the best iPad. Hit hard on himself. iPad of this generation cannot download voice recorders and screen
Bro,
recorders.
and that same iPad, I'm pretty sure I tried to go back and like use it, and that shit wouldn't even let me download YouTube anymore. Apple is scamming you.
Apple is scamming you. No, he was just bad with the internet. There's no way. There's no way it was that
I
bad. He
wish
probably locked it or something.
I wish I still didn't. I mean, I wish I still had those videos. I have the channel, but there's only, I think I'm subscribed to it. Like, I can link the channel in the description.
Subscribe.
I mean, I don't care if you subscribe to that one because that was my like original shit. I can link it in the description and you'll see there's like 3 videos on there, but I had way more and I deleted all of them for some reason.
That's lame.
But yeah, you can see the quality if you go and check it out.
You can see the 15-year-old quality on the 15-year-old iPad mini with greasy finger marks and a broken screen with a thick ass case. I bet you didn't even have a case on it.
I think I had the slimmest case ever.
They usually kids have like the thickest fucking case. It's like made out of rubber. So that you could like drop it on their
I
head.
took care of my shit.
Drop it off the rooftop. He messed it up. You could have been a famous YouTuber with $5 million in subscribers and all that. But he sold the bag by picking an iPad. iPads, iPads, those things are
That kind of brings
horrible.
up the topic. When did you get your first phone?
I got my first phone. I went a while without a phone. Most kids could go like 5 years old or something, or like 7. I didn't get my first phone until I was like 12, and I was in elementary school. And I got the phone originally because I was supposed to call my parents on it and tell them that I arrived home and that I'm at the bus stop. Like basically just basic updates. But then when I wasn't consistent with that, they like threatened to take it away. and I would also like, cause I was a kid, so like I would like download like soundboards and stuff, cause my friends had it, and they were like, "Look at the soundboard," and
The
they would play like a
Vine.
meme. They would play like a meme and like all that, and then I would be like, "That's pretty cool. I want to do that. I want to like make a joke, and then there's like a fart sound effect. That would be funny." And so I tried to download that. I did download it, but like I didn't even get that far. I would, dude, I would watch so much YouTube on it. Like I would literally stay up watching YouTube. I was consuming YouTube at like as soon as I got my phone. That was like the first thing I did.
Yep.
If
I
I
think
cannot remember
that's
who I watched really, I think I watched like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and stuff like that. I think they were still there at the time. But yeah, that got taken away from me, and the moment I stopped kind of using it for what it was for, they took it away. And then I went another couple years without a phone. And I think I got my first official phone in like high school, I want to say. I went like a lot of my childhood without a phone. I don't know if that's good or bad, honestly.
yeah.
But not a good phone experience. Although in terms of YouTube experience, there was a point in middle school where wait, let me see. It was around the time when parkour videos took off. Which I don't remember exactly when parkour videos took off, but you knew because they popped up in like you recommended a lot. So at the time of the parkour era, I was like obsessed with like trying to get good at it. And like I learned how to do like the PK roll, I think that's what they call it, where like you jump from a high level and you roll and you're supposed to um land on your shoulder and then kind of like distribute the impact on your back. I learned how to do that. And I didn't really learn much more than that because like a lot of it was like involving like rails and stuff, and like where I lived, like you literally didn't have any rails or anything. I didn't live in the city, so I didn't have all these rails and shit. I didn't have anything to do like parkour, which basically killed the dream because I was like all I can do parkour on is just a fence and like flat ground. So that's really boring. So I didn't really have the environment to do parkour, so I didn't get to really like develop that skill. And most of the parkour stuff would be like POV, and I like the POV style, honestly. I think that if I ever were to do like a professional YouTube channel and not like a personal brand or anything, but more like basically just having fun, something like a personal project, I'd say, where I like devote a lot of money to like just entertainment, it would probably be like a POV style video, which would probably be pretty similar to like Hardcore Henry. So if you never watch Hardcore Henry, it's basically the first movie that's ever filmed entirely in POV, so in first person. The entire movie Hardcore Henry is filmed in first person, and the first time I watched that, I literally got up from the seat and like started moving like him. Like that was like the most engaging movie I've ever watched. I was watching that and like I wasn't expecting anything because I was like I never heard of this movie. I literally clicked the movie because I was like the thumbnail looks cool. Like there's this guy like jumping out of a plane and he's like he has like a rope and shit. And I was like, oh, I like that. So I click on it. And the first scene is him in like a lab, but immediately you start off in POV. And then as soon as like you get to like the escape scene where like he jumps out of the pod, dude, I was like reenacting the shit and I was like going with it. For some reason, it was so engaging to me and I liked it a lot. And I like the style they filmed it because it was like so much shit happening. There was like cars here, and he like picked up a handgun and he would like shoot him, and then because he was like a cyborg in the movie, he would have like really high jumps, and he would like punch people like really far away. It was like live action stuff too, so it was like really entertaining to watch. And the entire movie is just like it's pretty gory. It's not meant for kids or anything. I think that's obvious from the fact that it says hardcore. But yeah, it has like gore scenes and it's pretty intense. In terms of engagement, I'd say anything on YouTube doesn't beat Hardcore Henry. Like you feel like you're there when you watch that movie. Now when I rewatch it, it's not the same. Stuff's not the same when you rewatch it. The first time is always the best. So
I thought he was a
that was
spinning
like
skull.
YouTube. Huh?
Have you seen the spinning skull?
What? The spinning skull? I haven't seen that.
It's like
What
a
you talking?
it's like a thing on TikTok. It's like
You mean the thing on shit posts where it's like, what the hell?
wait.
That
No,
thing?
no, no, no. It's like an emoji of a spinning skull, and then it's like blank. No, it's like I thought blank was hard, and then it's like a clip of someone doing that and like speedrunning something, whatever that blank is.
Is it like 3D?
It's
It's like a 3D skull
yeah,
rotating.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah,
seen
yeah.
that. I seen that. It was like a meme where I was like, "What the hell, SpongeBob doing on the road?" It was a boat. It was like a bunch. It was like a bunch of random fucking sounds, like TikTok sounds. And it was like four of those skulls rotating.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
like mainly what motivated that engagement in Hardcore Henry was because at the same time I was like into parkour, and Hardcore Henry had a bunch of parkour scenes in it, and so like what those two go into two and two, I just loved watching it. And honestly, I would if I had the money, because like honestly, if I did POV content, I have the equipment to do it. I have a GoPro and I could film a POV style video. All it would cost is just a headset in order to like get the POV style. The problem is I can't do that because you fuckers would be so bored watching it. I would not watch a guy walking around in a park. Like I want to see a guy
You gotta
in
put the
somewhere like in Japan, like where I've never seen, with the beautifulest graphics, with like the prettiest girls, and then the guy's just fucking punching guys like the yakuza and shit like that, and he's just running away on the bike. Like imagine seeing explosions and shit. Like that would be engaging as hell. You don't want to see some POV style video of me jumping on like a log, falling
just
off, and being like, "Ow, fuck!"
put
Like,
like Subway Surfer clips.
dude, Subway Surfer makes everything better. If we added Subway Surfer to the podcast, we'd get like 100K subs, and like everybody would be like, we
Fucking
honestly get the fucking like the fuck bots.
the what?
You know, you if you go to a Mr. Beast video, there's like those bots that are like sex bots.
Oh,
We'd get those type of bots. That's how big we would get if we put Subway Surfers.
you know you're winning when you get those bots in your comments.
Facts. If you don't have sex bots in your bot, and your if you have sex bots in your comment section, you're not winning. You're not a winner if you don't have Indians sending thousands of fake ass bots in your comment section saying text 123 to WhatsApp number for nudes. Anyway, um let's move away from that story. So for me, I guess I can start off with me and then I can go
Okay,
you.
yeah.
So for me, I actually started working out. Not for the first time, but I'd say like I was pretty obese. You could call me obese, and it would probably be facts back then before COVID, because I was like a high school freshman. So in freshman year, I'm pretty sure it was, we got announced that we were getting a break. It was like supposed to be 1 to 2 weeks, and then the break basically extended, and then they were like, "Yep, you guys are virtual." So that presented a problem, which was that I couldn't go to the gym because they they basically restricted you to hell. So if you went, you basically had to be like an adult, all this and all that. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to do that. And I don't even think I had the gym membership at the time because I was too young. So gym was factored out, right? I would basically have to sneak into the gym. That was too complicated. So then I was like, okay, I gotta work out from home. So then I'm like, okay, what do I do?
You got
So
a
I go
pair
on
of
YouTube.
sticks.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck, I had to work out. I'm gonna get fat. I'm gonna turn to Discord mod if I sit here at home. Like at the time I was playing video games. I was a degenerate. Fuck. Dude, I was like playing
Everyone.
Fortnite.
That's what we
Oh
were
my
all on,
god.
bro.
Oh my god. No way. Every one of my friends on Xbox was playing Fortnite. At the time, your whole friends list on
Yeah.
any online platform, gaming platform, was Fortnite. Playing Fortnite in home screen. Playing Fortnite 100 players left. Oh my god. The whole friends list was playing that game. I was playing that game too. So I'm not trying to act like everybody else was doing the wrong thing. I was contributing to it. But I was getting fat. I was gonna be a fat fuck if I didn't do something. So I pull up YouTube. One day I get like 2 a.m. motivation. I'm like, I gotta do something. I gotta get up. I gotta, I'm motivated. So I'm like, what do I do? Pull up YouTube, look up ab workout, try to do an ab workout. And I'm like, fuck, I can't. Oh my god, this guy's doing like fucking rotations and shit. I can't keep up. So I failed the ab workout, but it's a workout nonetheless. Boom, boom, boom. Do a few of those. Fail, fail, fail. But I'm getting consistent. And eventually I get to the point where I find like videos where they like basically work out with you and you're doing like burpees, push-ups and ab curls and stuff like that. And I actually found that to be really good. I like doing that. Or like some guy was doing it basically with you. And I only basically did that for like the rest of lockdown. I would just watch videos of like I forgot his name exactly. One of them was like Midas. That was one of the YouTubers, but the main I think his name was Bully Juice. I think
Yeah.
that was his YouTube name, and he got pretty big out of COVID. I watched a bunch of his videos, and he would just do like cardio workouts. Right, I was mainly doing cardio, so I would do a lot of those. I even to this day I have like a checklist. I would do like a checklist because he would do challenges, like a 30-day challenge, and I would contribute to it. So I have like a whole checklist of like me doing the challenge and all that. So I was pretty accountable doing that. And that's how I got like a lot of my muscle memory and a lot of the habit of going to the gym. Because if I didn't do that, I probably would have been inconsistent with the gym. Now I'm just inconsistent because I have to do it at school and then I have a gym membership and I just have schedule conflicts. So it's just complicated. But at the time in COVID, I did buy a couple dumbbells and I bought some dumbbells and bought them from Walmart and I bought like a 15 pound and a 30 pound one. And I basically worked out with those, and I still have them downstairs. And I got most of my workout doing cardio with bully juice, and then just using the dumbbells.
Would you say it's more worth buying a membership or sticking to home workouts for like someone that's just starting gym or working out in general?
I would say gym membership is better, honestly. I did not like having a home gym that was like literally just doing dumbbells. That was a home gym, if you could call it that,
Right.
right? And like, it's not very comfortable. I was consistent, but like, it was pretty like there wasn't any vitamin D. I wasn't like very social being in my basement doing this shit.
Right.
Like I didn't hate doing it, but like it was just lonely.
Hmm.
A lot of COVID was just lonely. Even like working out was lonely. So
My my
yeah.
thoughts on that, like now that we're like out of COVID and
Mhm.
getting out of COVID, more and more people feel like their social skills aren't as good as before COVID because of what quarantine did. And
All right.
some people want to start working out to improve themselves as people. So I feel like working out at home is good to like start, like for people who like don't have transportation to go to the gym.
Right.
Like,
But you agree that like
what?
the gym is better, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is better but like if
Yeah. So
you're
we
if
agree
you're
on that.
limited, right? If you want to start but
Yeah.
you're intimidated or whatever, like like you said, that 2 a.m. energy, you want to get up and start doing push-ups. Like, you're limited at home, but like you got to decide for yourself to make the most of the time that you have and like the most of your resources to fucking like go online and look up home workouts if you really like want to change yourself. Because like I've heard of many, like in my experience, I've heard many people who want to say like, I want to work out, but I don't fucking, I can't go to the gym.
Right. Right.
And
So like what
yeah.
he's kind of touching on is like calisthenics and just home workouts.
Mm-hmm.
But like I think what Jeremy's trying to say is that like if you're just trying to like get started, then like just crank out a couple push-ups, right? Just like get
Yeah.
on a consistent basis where you're just like, well, you can like tell yourself like, all right, can I just drop down, do 15 push-ups? Am I this out of shape that I can't do 15 push-ups in a row? And if you can't do that, then like you really have to kind of have some humility and to ask yourself like, what am I doing? Like, do I want to be the guy that I go to girls and I say, like, imagine being in a group of girls, right? And they're all just kind of like laughing and you're laughing. And then a guy just kind of says like, "Hey bro, I dare you to drop and do me 15 push-ups," right? This is just random, right? This is kind of unrealistic.
Okay.
Like imagine somehow somewhere there's like girls, there's guys, you're at a party. Even if you don't go to parties, let's just say it's like a school event or something, right? Like don't try to get out of the shit. Like say you're at a group event, right?
Yeah.
And you're put on the spot. Everybody's looking at you, and you have to do something physical. Mostly push-ups because that's the easiest, right?
Yeah.
You're having a push-up contest with somebody. Say that. Say that. That's more realistic.
Okay. Yeah.
Imagine being the guy, the weak guy with skinny arms that cannot beat this bully, like this guy that's like a jock. He's a jerk, and you
That's
can't even like beat him. You can't even like do more than 5 push-ups. Okay, let me be generous. Let me be like more generous. You can't do more than 15 push-ups to beat this guy. This guy's a dick. You hate this guy, and he is beating you in front of all of these girls. You might not even like these girls. Like they're hoes. They're thoughts. Like let's be honest. Most of them are. But like it's humiliating. Like you're filled with so much shame if you can't beat this guy that you know in everything with your heart and soul and mind that he doesn't deserve to be better than you. And like something like that is all it takes to just fucking become a beast. To just have a reason. Like I know that for Mike Tyson, somebody had to bully him and like kill his bird, I think it was, in order for him to be like a monster. From that point on, the moment he got bullied, he basically was just fighting. So like you want to get at least the point where that doesn't happen to you, right? Because you don't want to end up getting a reality check one day and figuring out that you're weak and finding out by everybody around you seeing that, oh shit, he's weak. You know, he can't even do 15 push-ups. He can't even do a handstand. Right? Like that's you don't want to be humiliated like that. You at least want to have a good chance and just come out knowing that like you are the bigger person. You were the guy that could at least hold his own. So I mean, that's like my perspective on it. What would you say about that, Jeremy?
I mean, some people would argue like that people don't really care. Like it's kind of like they're NPCs, you know. They forget what happens. But it's not like for us as humans, it's more about how we think others see us. Like let's say we do get
Status.
humiliated. Yeah, status. We do get humiliated in front of all these people. Eventually they'll forget. They'll move on with their lives. They don't give a shit about us. But to us, it sticks. Like that's a memory that doesn't go away. And that's like sometimes you got to think about that. Like you could either use that to improve your mindset, or use that to like fuel your like purpose to become a beast.
Right. So Jeremy has a point, right? It's like these people will forget that frankly everybody is busy with their own lives to care about your life. That's just facts. Right? If something happened a year ago, most likely they didn't remember. And if they do remember, you have to do a lot to make them remember. So they're not actively going to think about it. I'd say give it like a month, people will probably forget whatever you did. And it's not that which is bad. It's the fact that after that event happening, you stop puffing your chest out. You stop balling your fist up. You become slouched, and that's because like your body language just seems a lot weaker. You look a lot weaker. And the way you hold yourself in mind and body is just weaker. Because the moment that you are defeated, you feel defeated, you're just going to be like a weaker man. Like you everything you do, everybody will feel it around it. Everybody. Your mom, your dad, your sister, your whatever, your siblings, they'll just see how much weaker you are. You talk quiet, the way you walk, the way you strut is just like different because you're just embarrassed of how weak you are because of that one time you lost. Right? Everybody else is not going to remember, but the one time you lost, you couldn't hold your own. You couldn't defend your honor, you couldn't defend your pride. It just got taken and destroyed. Right? So the entire point of what I'm saying and what Jeremy's saying is that at the very least, like be able to hold your own at something. Be able to at least be proud that you can do 15 or 20 push-ups. And I'm just saying that because it's an easy exercise. You can just drop down right now. And if you can't do 15 push-ups, I mean, get to the point where you can. And I mean, follow somebody who's good at that stuff. Obviously, we aren't very educated on fitness. This isn't a fitness channel. I do know a fair bit about fitness, but I mean, at least get to the point where you're physically able to hold your own, is what we're just saying. And with that, I think we should close that point and open up on another point. How do you feel about well, I'm just gonna shoot some shots in the dark, see what we get in common.
All right.
Do you have very developed thoughts on your offspring or kids?
What? Wait, what?
I'm talking about like, do you have an envisionment of like how you're going to have kids? Basically, do you want a girl or daughter? Have you thought about that
Oh,
very much?
just the way you worded that.
Your offspring?
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll start with like relationship wise.
Right. So okay. So this section will be like, um, just talking about our kids. This is a bit early actually to be talking about kids since we're like we can say it. We're still in high school, right?
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, we're
I mean,
seniors.
we
So
can talk
like
about it because we're like exiting this. What is it called?
we can like come back to this point like later in our lives and be like, I wonder what we thought. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
would
yeah.
have.
Definitely.
Exactly.
We're
It's
stepping
kind of like one
into
of those
a
moments.
new phase of our life
Right.
in our senior years. Like we're about to dip and be individual. But yeah.
All right.
So I'm not in a relationship currently, but I'm open to it.
Have
But
you
I'm
ever?
no, I haven't. I'm open to it, but like
All right.
it's not something I'm gonna stress about right now. Not with like everything that is important to me in the moment, right? But my thoughts on it is to like I'm not gonna get into a relationship just to like how do I say it? Like I don't see it as like something I need right now, but it will be something that I look forward to in the future or even now like if something happens, like I'm open to it. And
You're right.
but it's definitely something that I want in the future, which relates to like children. I mean,
Right.
I'm definitely gonna what?
What is your ideal girlfriend look like exactly? Like if
That's
you see a bunch of girls walking on the street, which one catches your eye?
I
What does she
mean,
have to look like? Not so much look like.
Right.
You can avoid that. But like,
Mhm.
what does she at least act like? What's her personality,
I mean,
so to speak?
I'm pretty sure like everyone would say this, but like they need to be genuine, you know? Like
Okay,
they can't
wait.
have like
I did the wrong thing.
what
At a glance, what
at
does
a
she look like?
glance.
No talking. Just like it catches your eye, so to
What the
speak. Like you
like the
want to
way
talk
they
to this girl
present
because of how she
themselves?
looks. Huh?
Like body language or something?
Anything. Like just imagine her walking down the street. What does she look like?
That
That
is
makes you want to like talk to her, right? Like you've at least had a crush before.
yeah.
Exactly. So you know that there's appearance wise, there's that moment in you that kind of is like she looks pretty good. I talked to her.
That's so hard to think about. I wouldn't be able to like give a preference, honestly.
Okay, so let's say she's whatever race, right? Let's say she mixed.
Okay.
Any anything else?
What do you mean?
Well, you haven't described her at all.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have like an ideal, you know?
Okay, okay. So we don't have an image of her, but let's say
Right.
personality wise, maybe you know that at least.
Okay.
You
Personality
don't know
wise.
she's just like a white figure, right, in your imagination,
Okay.
because you haven't described it really. Like this is a girl that you're like, I would marry this girl. Like I would genuinely, like I would no. Okay, well you can laugh if you want,
Okay.
but I mean,
It's like
like
she has to
genuinely, you're
stick
thinking about
out.
this girl.
She has to stick out from everyone else. Like,
Okay,
but the way someone sticks out to you is different to everyone. And I honestly don't know how, like, what makes a girl stick out to me.
okay. What don't you want?
Oh, that's like,
You can list that obviously. So
okay.
just list out like what don't you want?
Well, like, definitely not someone who's like loud. Like,
Okay.
and like not too loud and not too like closed off, because then it would be like impossible to, well, not impossible, but you know, it would be,
No, I get what you're saying.
yeah,
She's like controlled. She can
yeah,
control
yeah,
herself.
like well balanced.
Made the
All
conclusion
right,
yet.
how about this? You give me some examples, and then I can.
Well, like you, I'd probably have to go in with this girl thinking with like imagining this girl as a white figure just because
Hmm.
I don't have much experience with different ethnicities and races and
Right.
cultures just because I've been limited to high school girls and obviously most people in your high school are from the neighborhood. Some are from like some are like Indian and Muslim, but that doesn't really count because they're kind of like whitewashed. All of them are whitewashed for the most part. I've never seen a person that's like culturally still there, except for Latinos, because they have their own ESOL class. That's different. They have ESOL. They all can hang out there. A lot of Latinos. um, I actually don't know if I would date a Latina because the thing is, they're really loud. They're pretty. They're pretty
Now that you
loud,
say
and I
that,
mean,
now that you say that,
I
I
wouldn't
have
date a Latina
like, yeah. Now that you say
unless
that,
she's mixed.
like these thoughts are coming into my mind.
Wait, I have it. So, in psychology, there's this thing where it's like the big five, right?
Yeah,
Where it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
openness, something, 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 right? So, if I would say in terms of personality, this girl doesn't have to share my culture. She doesn't have to be Latina in per se,
Okay.
but she has to be very high in openness scale, meaning she's not like a one. So she's like, "This is my culture. If you don't respect my culture, like get the fuck out of my house." Like
Right.
this girl's like, "Oh, okay, he's Hispanic, so let me look up his food's called his family's like foods. Like let me see what his family makes
Yeah.
like pupusas and sopa and
Yes.
sopa de res and stuff like this. So like this girl can actually like internalize what my family cooks, why they cook it, and like where they come from. So
Mm-hmm.
she's not so much like a liberal. Like, I didn't want to have to
What?
say it like that. Never mind. That came off wrong. I was gonna make a joke into that. Like how people from this from the United States are kind of like off. Like they don't really accept other cultures. They're just kind of like closed in with
Right.
like this ideology, which is like, I think they'd call it like woke. I think a lot of people call it like woke.
Yeah.
I don't know, something about those people. Um, but yeah, high on the openness scale in terms of personality.
Yes. I can
Um,
agree with that.
she does not have to share my culture, which which basically opens the realm, which means she doesn't have to be limited to my culture.
Right.
I actually wouldn't mind a Muslim girl. Problem with that is Muslim tradition is very restrictive.
Yeah.
So I doubt I would get with a Muslim. An Indian? Mm, oof. I don't think I can have her being really religious, honestly. If she's really religious, most religions are very m- moderate. There's a lot of moderation, and they wouldn't like. I think I'd be the type of guy that like I'd probably meet my wife flirting. Like I'd have to flirt. I think I'm one of those guys which if I can get in the setting, I think I'd genuinely like just flirt with a girl that I genuinely thought was pretty attractive, and that's kind of how I'd enter in. I wouldn't like go in like, oh, what kind of book you reading? No, I'd genuinely just go up to her and tell her like some pickup line. Like it could be cheesy. It could be cheesy just for the laughs, or it could be like genuine, right? Um,
Yeah,
so I guess
I
she
get what you
couldn't be
mean.
very religious, right? Because of moderation reasons. In terms of what she looks, this is what you guys probably care about most. I did have a crush in middle school, which I can't say her name for
Oh my god. Oh
autonomous
my god.
reasons. But I have given her an alias,
You
and
have?
I think I call her Linda in my journal. It's not her actual name, but obviously this is what we're gonna refer to her as, Linda. Right? So Linda's a girl I met in middle school, and I met her in my social studies class. And I wrote a whole like journal entry about it. I could go about it here, but I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. I basically sit next to, basically sat with assigned seats next to Linda. I don't necessarily hit it off with Linda. I'm just really taken aback by her personality because this is like a really wholesome, kind, and like I later found out that she was into like Christianity. She was a Christian girl, so that explains a lot of why she acted the way she did. A lot of people you meet in middle school, whatever school you go to, they're not very moderate at how they talk. They're not very appropriate with the way they go. A lot of people are very desire driven. Like if it feels good, if for example, say hot Cheetos, if somebody eats hot Cheetos, like most people will just keep eating hot Cheetos, even though they know that it's bad for them. They'll eat like 2 bags at a time
Yeah.
because it feels good. This type of girl that I just sat next to, Linda, she seems like she would just she's got a pretty good body, I would say. She doesn't have like food all over her desk. She doesn't have a very big bag filled with food or anything. Most of her bag is organized. I actually am starting to remember this a little bit now. She actually was very organized, which I liked. I hate disorganized people. Let me just say that. So straight off the bat, she's organized just like me. So I'm like, oh, she's got like highlighters and stuff like that. And in my head I kind of just start getting these like I guess you can say I start getting butterflies on my stomach, right?
Yeah.
And from that point on, she kind of imprinted this image of like what does this like Christian girl type of wholesome girl look like, right? And so when I think of that, I think of her and what she had. Or I guess I can say what she looks like since you can probably pinpoint her by a couple looks, right? Jeremy knows who I'm talking about exactly, but um, I probably won't be able to give an accurate description anyway. In terms of appearance, I believe she had light light brown hair, which you'd call a brunette. I think that's what they call them. I originally thought she was blonde for some reason. I think I got her confused with another girl who was like a weirdo. I don't know how I got her confused with her. Um, she was like a brunette, and her hair was not short. It was actually, I'd say halfway. It was cut. I guess the length was like halfway in her back. So it was pretty long, but it wasn't like annoyingly long. Um, she had freckles, which is the most standing out feature. You could kind of tell she had freckles. It wasn't like a lot. It wasn't like overwhelming, like her whole face had freckles. It was like just enough where it's like right below the eyes and right across the nose. It was like freckles. And I'd say she had a pretty slim face, pretty petite body. She usually wore jeans. She usually wore like she didn't wear dresses very much. I don't think I recall her seeing her in a dress. She one time wore like farmer overalls, which was kind of cute. I thought that was kind of cute. But no, she didn't really dress in like any revealing clothing, if I'm being honest. She might like show the shoulder or something, but that's not really that bad, right? So I did like that. She had some modesty in the way she dressed. Um and I think if there were any girl that I were to really kind of have feelings for, it would probably be very similar to her, where it was like the way she dresses is very modest. She's not showing like a lot of leg. I mean, I guess there's no problem if she's like dressing very openly. It's just that like at first it kind of like just appears to me like maybe you're a little promiscuous. Like maybe you kind of fool around with guys and flirt with guys and stuff like that. So or initially that kind of gives me that impression. If they're just showing too much, right? Um, what is she in psychology? The big five. That's what the personality test is supposed to be. So the big five, the five things are openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. So, um, goddamn, this is pretty hard. Hope pull up. This is what I learned in my psychology class. Which is why which is why I remember it. So we talked about openness, which is basically your ability to accept like new concepts, new cultures, and things like that. Agreeableness, I think she wouldn't have to be. Hmm. Would you like your girl to be agreeable, Jeremy? That
Like
makes sense, right? Do you
agreeable.
need your girl? Like, the thing is, if she's very agreeable, then that means that she basically believes a lot of like misinformation. So would you be hmm, how does this work? Shit, I'm gonna need help here, Jeremy.
What?
I don't know how to feel about agreeableness. I think the thing is, I think a lot of a girl's agreeableness and like problems really derive from her dad. I think a lot of it derives from the father. I think if a girl has the best father in the world, she genuinely will come out like a very good girl. In the sense that like she's actually appropriate with the way she does things. Like she has principles, manners, beliefs, proper beliefs. She's not like a brat or anything like that. I think a lot of girls' issues come from like daddy issues because their dad like doesn't love them the way they should. And so what happens when a girl doesn't get her love mainly from her father is then she starts going to guys. Then she starts messing around with these guys that start like how nowadays people call it, like Riz.
Yeah.
So guys that will like basically want to slide into the girl's DMs and just basically want to fuck with the girl and then immediately just not have relationships with her anymore. Guys will just Riz her up, right? And those are the type of girls that if she has a pretty bad father, she'll usually be rizzed up pretty easily because she wants to feel loved. And these guys are basically giving that to her. They're making her feel like like attention, like they're giving her attention, and they're giving her like compliments and stuff like that. And I think it's those type of girls. I think if a girl, I think I'm like, fuck. It's kind of hard to word because I don't know how to feel about that.
So what you're saying is you don't want someone who seeks that attention. Just
What I'm
like
saying
it's
is
not
that
wrong to seek attention, but like
I think
not.
the ideal person that I'd have a relationship, a serious relationship with, potentially being enough to like marry,
Mm.
she would have to have like present father, like a father that was there her whole life. You might not think that's like I'm not like that's a joke, but like
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
ask a lot of girls, if you look into a lot of girls,
okay.
you don't even have to ask them. You can like listen into like most of these girls' conversation, and they don't mention their dad. Like most of these girls, they don't ask permission from their dads or moms or anything. They just do
Okay.
whatever they want.
Right.
So immediately, if they don't like in their head, if they don't think to themselves, "Oh, should I like, ask my parents, my dad, my mom?" Then it kind of gives you that indication that like maybe their parents don't really care what they do, and that's fine. Maybe their parents just let them run like all willy nilly and stuff. But it's the way they say it. Like, "Oh, my parents won't care." Like if they say it like that, then it's like, "Oh, okay, she's probably got some issues with her parents." But if it's like, "I don't know what my parents will think," then it's like it's interesting because they can say the same sentence, but it depending on how they say it, that kinda gives the message. It's just reading it. Reading it's like with, like, the subtle things. You could just straight up ask a girl, like, "Was your father there when you were a kid?" She might answer, she might not. She might take offense. Like how can you tell without directly, explicitly saying it, is what I'm just trying to think in my head. And it's difficult. It's really difficult to read like that. I would
Right.
I would much rather just go up to a girl and just say like, "Is your dad there in your life, or was he there in your life?" But I'd probably get slapped, obviously, and called an asshole. But it's just fact. It's like that's just the easy way, right? Those are like the big five. Most uh most of the personalities derive from these five things, and the rest is just like sub categories of like this stuff. So like using this, could you kind of develop more on your ideal partner, like future partner's personality? Or is this too complicated for you?
No, it's not complicated. It's
Right.
like for
Well, you could
me,
start. You know openness. You know openness has to be high because you answered that for yourself already. She
yeah,
has to
yeah,
accept your culture. You know that. That's a
right.
immediately you want like a five, a 4 or 5 on the openness scale.
Wait, what's the scale? From 1 to 5 or 0 to 5?
Uh, you can say it's from 1 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah, we can say 1 to 10. So from 1 to 10, what would you say in open?
I would say like 6 or 7 because they could be neutral, but I don't like they don't have to um like experience the same culture as mine. They just gotta accept it and like at least
Now,
the
when you say that, that does mean that naturally she'll be curious.
hmm,
Because if somebody's open, it means that they want to be creative, right? And you can only be creative by getting new ideas, and you can only get new ideas if you're open.
okay.
So your girl's gonna have to be curious. That's the caveat.
Hmm,
Like the higher the rating is, the more I guess you can say curious she'll be. The less she'll want to be like in one place.
right.
Either that, or she would be like looking up a lot of new things. But basically, you just have a curious girl. Is that like a deal breaker for you?
I wouldn't say that's the only that's like the deal breaker, but that's something I
What?
would want.
You wouldn't want?
I would.
Okay. I think that matches you with you because you're pretty creative since you're
Yeah.
into art. So yeah, that makes sense. That yeah, I would agree. um,
Okay.
what's the next one? What about in terms of conscientiousness? You probably have to read a little on what that means. So I would read that for the audience.
Goal-directed behaviors. Yeah,
Conscientious.
I definitely want that.
Right.
Like high.
Now I will say that this does go against femininity in the sense that like your girl's gonna be a little more masculine if she is like goal oriented.
Right.
Just in the sense that like if you see most like feminine girls, like she kind of wants you to be the top dog. She wants you to kind of
Right.
not so much do everything for her, but she wants to know you're in control.
Okay.
And if your girl were to be like goal directed, she'd probably care a little more. Like you kind of tell on a daily basis, like she'd be busy. Like she'd probably tell you, "Oh, I'm a bit busy with this," you know,
Yeah.
or
That's not a problem with me.
not so much, right?
It goes,
Like she's not clingy. She'd be less clingy in this sense.
yeah, because then,
That's what I'm basically trying to say.
yeah.
So
Like if I were to
if
be with someone
the
right now,
conscientiousness, so just so you have an idea, if the number were to be lower,
right.
this would mean that she would dislike structure and schedules, that she would make messes a bit more regularly, that she would fail to return things, so she'd be pretty forgetful or put them back where they belong. She'll procrastinate a bit more than normal, and she'll fail to complete necessary tasks. But if she's high, it means that if the number's high, it means that she spends time preparing, she finishes important tasks right away, she pays attention to detail and enjoys having a set schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a deal breaker if it were to be too high or low?
Mm, probably if it's too low.
Right. So this girl like forgets things. She procrastinates a lot. Is that a deal breaker?
Yes.
I would I would agree actually. I would really agree. Since I previously did say I like organized girls very much because my impression with Linda was that she was a very organized girl. She had her binder, highlighters, everything in order. So yeah,
Right.
I would say I'm in agreement with you. Although I would say I'm a bit higher. I'd say I'm like a 9 or a 10.
Hmm.
That seems a bit extreme, but yeah, I would say a no. Well, what about you? From a 1 to a 10.
You said you're on a 9?
I'd say I'm a 9 or a 10.
I would say 8 to 9 then.
So, yeah, that's fair. I might have bumped it down to that actually, but
Right.
okay. What about
Extroversion.
extroversion? Now this has to do with introversion, extroversion, which I'm sure everybody's familiar with.
I don't think this one's more like
Okay, before you say
neutral.
that,
What?
before we go into that, we do have to kind of list what the high and the low
Yeah, yeah,
means.
yeah.
Okay, so you can read the high and I'll read the low.
Okay.
All right, I'll start first. So if she has a low rating, this means she prefers solitude. She feels exhausted when she's socializing a lot. So if you take her to like a family gathering or a party, she's probably gonna be sitting down a lot, right?
Hmm.
She's gonna be really shy, or not so much shy, but she's just gonna feel like overwhelmed easily.
Okay.
That's a better word. She finds it difficult to find conversations, so she's gonna like stick to you basically because she's gonna be like, help me, help me. She dislikes making small talk. Um, so she basically won't talk with a relative if you're not there. That's kind of what that pointing at. She carefully thinks things thoroughly before speaking. So she's an overthinker in a sense. Um, and she dislikes being the center of attention, which means she obviously doesn't want the spotlight on her. She'll probably get really red if you like try to say like, "Hey, this is my girlfriend," everybody.
Right.
Like if you're, yeah, she basically wants you to be subtle as possible with it.
Okay.
You list a high now.
All right.
There you go.
If she has high extroversion, she enjoys being the center of attention, which is the exact opposite of what you just said, meaning like, the hot Cheeto girls. Well, it's not always that, but like,
She's gonna be
they
loud,
want attention.
right? She's gonna be pretty loud.
All right. And she likes to start conversations. So it's like,
She doesn't need you. She can kind of talk to your dad or your mom. Is what
right.
that means.
Okay. Enjoys meeting new people. So she doesn't have problems with socializing. And
Mm-hmm.
that also means like she's open to being friends with both guys and girls, which is something that a lot of people consider in a relationship. Has a wide social circle of friends and acquaintances, right? Basically
Oh,
ties into what I was just saying. So like,
I think this would Okay, you can keep listening. Sorry, I interrupted. Keep
right.
going.
So she has this large group of friends and
Acquaintances, yeah. People acquaintances is basically people like coworkers and stuff like that.
right.
Like she basically knows her name.
Right.
She knows their name and they know her name. Is what acquaintances mean.
Okay. Finds it easy to make new friends. I
Yeah,
mean,
pretty speaks
yeah.
for itself.
Feels energized when around other people. So kind of
She's
like,
an extrovert, so
yeah.
like she basically has to go out a lot. She can't stay in the countryside. Like she has to be
Right.
at
She has to
least
be around
like
people.
in she has to gather with people a lot. So like this is going back to the wide social circle. She's probably gonna be calling her friends a lot if she's pretty lonely. Calling you, she might text people a lot, text you a lot. Um, Likely this means that she wants like attention. Not a lot, not like a bunch, but like she gets energy from it basically from
Right.
talking to people. And then the
Says
last point, Jeremy.
says things before thinking about them. This one is probably something I wouldn't want.
Yeah, I think in terms of being like honest and open, this might cause issues. At the same, I think if she was being logical, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But if she's being honest and open with me, then if she thinks about it, she's gonna be like, "Wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't tell him,"
Hmm.
and it's gonna kind of
Okay.
maybe start some
Right.
trust issues because you're gonna be like, "What does she want? What does she want? She's not telling me
Right.
what she wants because she's thinking about it."
Okay. So what were you gonna say about?
Where would I rate this extroversion? I would think of this. I think of this more in like the masculine feminine realm.
Mhm.
Although let's keep the extrovert and introversion.
Yeah.
Um, I would say low or high, low or high. Let me see how to phrase this. If she were to be high, that would be implying that you would be into Latinas a bit more. If you were to be
Yeah.
neutral, it would kind of be like she's white. If it were to be low, she's Chinese. That's how I'm seeing it. She's either Latina, white, or she's like Chinese, right?
Really.
Hmm. Because a lot of Chinese people are like family oriented. Not every Chinese. I'm generalizing a lot, but
Right.
that's how I kind of see it. So I would land somewhere between 5 and 7. I think she's gonna be loud though. This is tricky.
Yeah. For me, it's like I can't
This is tricky.
I can't go too low
I
or
don't
too
want too
high.
much balance. I want to say
Yeah.
a
You
5,
don't.
but I feel like I'm losing.
It's either it ranges for me like from a 3 to what is it? 7.
This is weird because it's like, is it a deal breaker if she's one or the other?
I don't think so. Well,
Yeah.
oh, okay. If it's
I think if she's like a 10 or a 1,
yeah.
it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. If it's a 10 or a 1, then I'd probably say it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
All right, so we can go on agreeableness. So this is the fourth. This is agreeableness.
So has a great deal of interest in other people if it's on the high agreeableness.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? Like,
So do you have a better understanding of it? If you read right there, it says the attributes of this is like trust, altruism, kindness, affection, and other pro-social things. So if she has a great deal and interest in other people, that basically means she's empathetic,
right.
which means if you tell her a story, she's
Okay.
probably gonna ask a lot of questions,
Yeah.
and it means that she's gonna be like asking you a lot of this and that,
I
and
think
she'd probably be sitting down with a person talking for a pretty long time. Okay. So great deal of interest. The second one cares about others. Yeah.
feels
Yeah, that makes
empathy
sense.
and
Feels empathy
concern.
and concern for other people. Enjoys helping and contributing to the happiness of other people. Assists others who are in need.
So like
Takes little
someone, what is it
interest.
called? A
This is
people
high.
pleaser?
Yeah. If she's a 10, she might be a people pleaser for sure. If she's a 1, I think she's like a sociopath. Like she's got, like she doesn't really. She's like a businesswoman. I think I would say.
Okay. All right. Takes little
Okay,
interest in other.
lowest takes little interest in others. Basically, doesn't care about how others feel. Has little interest in other people's problems. Insults and belittles. Oh shit. Manipulates others to get what they want.
God damn. Yeah, this one.
I think it. Yeah, I don't know. And I think if you'd have to have a kink if you like a if you're a 1 or 2. Yeah, this is one of those things which is like, do you have a kink for that? Where
Right.
like you like your girl when she like
She's
basically
dominated.
belittles you. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Are you into? Do you have like a domination fetish type of kink thing going on? I think sure off the bat, this is like a most people would answer at least higher than a 5.
Yes.
That's where I'm going. I'm gonna go with like a. I don't want a 10 because that's a people pleaser. So I'd say this is a deal breaker. If it's below a 5, it is a deal breaker.
Yes.
This is a big deal breaker. But if she's a 10, it's kind of like, I could teach her to tone it down a bit. So
Yeah.
it's
It's not.
workable.
Yeah.
But ideally above a 5. Last one, neuroticism. This has to do with sadness, moodiness, and emotional unstableness.
Hmm.
So cranky, mood swings, anxiety, irritability, sadness. Okay, so in terms of high neuroticism means she experiences a lot of stress. Now for girls, this is kind of natural. So that it's
Yeah.
like certain times a month they're going to be like this, right? But still, um, high neuroticism, she experiences a lot of stress, which means she's kind of sensitive to stress.
Hmm.
Okay. She worries about many things, so she has anxiety. Um, she gets upset really easily, which means if you don't, you know what I think about when I say she gets upset really easily?
What?
You know that thing that girls say when she's like, "Would you date me if I was a woman?"
Yeah.
Immediately I thought of that. I'm like, if you answered no, she'd probably fucking cry. That's what I
Yeah.
think of when I think of high neuroticism. Experiences dramatic shifts in mood. I feel like that's a little natural. Dramatic shifts. So we're talking like bipolar. If it's high,
Yeah.
like this girl can go from, "Oh my god, I love it," to you're, you know, to like hating you. So
Yeah.
like if this is the type of girl which is like, you do one thing wrong and it feels like everything kind of just like didn't matter anymore.
That's like most girls, bro.
It is. But again, like we've only been exposed to very little cultures
True.
because we go to high school where everybody's either whitewashed or
Right.
they eventually get whitewashed. Like it's either one or the other. Like you're gonna get
Okay,
whitewashed at some
I'll
point in
change
that
that.
school.
That's like most girls in a relationship in high school.
Americans,
Yeah.
basically. Um, feels anxious.
Yeah. Goes back to
Um, that's a bit broad. It's pretty broad, I'd say. But anxious, that means that she'd probably be. When I think anxious, I imagine a girl that kind of tugs your shirt to make sure everything's okay. Kind of deal. Kind of like a little kid for some reason. I imagine that. Like you have to basically remind her like everything's fine. Like you're fine.
right.
That's what I think of. Last one, struggles to bounce back after stressful events. So that would mean if like her parents died or like her pet died. That's a little bit more realistic.
That's
Like her
like
pet died. Like her favorite dog, golden retriever, just died. She's gonna have trouble bouncing back, which means she's reliant on you in this process. Which means if you're not playing your part, she basically gonna be like a pretty. It's gonna be stressful to take care of her, right?
yeah. Okay.
Mm. So this kind of sounds a lot like she has issues. Like,
Yes.
why would somebody have high neuroticism? Because if she's sad, she's moody, and she's emotionally unstable, that means that she has some trauma.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think I hit something there. Yeah, this would heavily imply that if she has a high neuroticism, she's been with trauma. Like if you were to ask her about her dad, this is the type of girl that I think would be really quiet. And she would like look at the ground or something. But if she's low, let me read low, and then
Yeah.
I can tell you guys what low kind of looks like. So to list it, it's like emotionally unstable. No, emotionally stable. Sorry, not unemotionally. Emotionally stable. Um, she deals with stress. She deals well with stress. So basically, she can cope with it pretty well. Like
Right.
maybe she goes to the gym or she
Yeah.
talks with her friends and she gets over it. She has a phone call. She's all better. Or she goes to a yoga class. She's all better. She rarely feels sad or depressed. Um, I would say that means she's pretty satisfied with the relationship. I don't know how to kind of word that, but make it that how you may. Doesn't worry much. Doesn't worry much. Doesn't worry much. It can't be too low if that's the case. Is very relaxed. I feel like she's just slouch. I feel like she's slouching too much if she's too low. She either has trauma. How do I think of this?
Well, it
This
could be
honestly sounds like the lower the better. But this is meaning that you're trying to look for a girl who doesn't have trauma. Because that means if she does, you have to take care of her a lot. So this is basically saying, do you want would you basically want a good looking girl, but she has trauma and deal with that? Or would you want like she looks alright, but she has a pretty good family life. So she doesn't have much trauma. So, is this a Mm, it is a deal breaker if she's
It isn't.
high, isn't
Yeah,
it?
definitely. For
Now this
low, I
would,
would say
yeah.
I wouldn't. Maybe like a 1 is a deal breaker. Actually, no. Hold up. Not not a 1 actually. Cause like the way I'm seeing it is you're expecting someone to like.
I think low when okay, these last 2 points doesn't worry much and is very relaxed. This means to say that she has faith in you. Like she's secure in
Mm,
whatever you pick. Like imagine you're picking furniture and you're like, I think this set is pretty good. She's
yeah.
basically like, okay, I trust you. Like she's not gonna say like, oh, this set looks better. Well, I think this set looks a little better. She might say something like that, like, oh, this looks a little better.
Okay.
But like ultimately she'll basically trust you with the call. Like she feels relaxed with you making the decision. She's like, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, you want to buy this house? Yeah, looks like a good house. Sure.
Mm,
Okay. So I would say the lower the better. I mean, I'd say a two would be I think a two would be ideal. For some reason
right.
I'm a bit apprehensive to say one. I'm not sure why, but I think the lower would be the better.
It
Actually,
would
I
be
think it would be a
better.
one.
It would be better, but if you think about it, if it is a 1, and say you need like an input, like life change, like let's say you're deciding to have a kid or something,
Boom.
and she's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, all right. Oh, I
Like
see
there's
what you're
not much
saying.
thought going into that.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
That's why I would say not a 1,
I feel like that
but it's
does conflict
still.
with 101s we said. Hmm.
But I can definitely say I do not want high.
If she has a high conscientiousness, meaning if she's like goal oriented,
Right.
I would say that kind of cancels it out. Because if she's goal
True.
oriented, she's gonna be thinking about how this kid is gonna go to school and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
But that would force you into the position. I'm thinking about this like fucking chess. That would force you into the position where you basically are forced to say that she has to be higher on the conscientiousness.
Yeah. That's what I think I said that I would want
That
it
means she
high.
would be like pretty organized.
Yeah.
If the more organized she is, the more that it would kind of cancel out the neuroticism being a one.
Yeah.
You know, this is kind of random. I've never played. I guess this can be like a side topic before we end it. Um, have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
I have not.
I haven't either, but I kind of like the idea of how much you use your imagination in that game. Like I've seen fuckers that just like think of some wild shit, and I'm just like, dude, what? How do you like roll a six and your luck is a six, and because your luck is a six, the goblin stab you in the knees. I don't know. Like something about that game. Like oh, there's it's so much room for imagination that it's like, how did these fuckers think about this? Like,
What
how do
like
you make a move based
what
off a
made you
six,
go
like a
from
dice?
talking about personalities to this?
Um, because I'm thinking about this like it's like chess and shit, and I'm like, this is kind of like D&D where it's like you're imagining a lot. Because like I am
Right.
imagining a lot. I'm
Yeah.
imagining the girl, what she
Yeah.
would be like if she was high and low and this and stuff. And so I'm like, this is kind of like D&D. If I rolled like a 10, then it's this and stuff. Even though I've never played D&D. That's what they call it, Dungeon and Dragons.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just like a side topic. But with that, we basically reached our time. At this point, we don't want to make it 2 hours for you guys. I know nobody's watching this far. If you
Yeah.
did skip, that's fine. Um, the outro. How are we gonna do the outro? You're gonna play it, right?
Yeah. Hold up.
Okay.
I'll be back. Let me take a piss break.
This is crazy. Absurd. I think I'm out of water. It has been a long day. It is 12 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. It's 12 o'clock on the dot. And I have an alarm set to wake me up tomorrow. Ah, my gosh. Who did that? Who did that? Oh. Damn. I hope the microphone didn't pick that up. I don't have my appointment. That's on the 6th. I was supposed to go to the dentist tomorrow. Cancel my appointment, dude. Now I'm gonna have fucked up teeth. No. I don't want crooked teeth. My teeth are gonna turn yellow. I know Jeremy's gonna edit this out. Jeremy, I wonder how you're gonna edit this out. Listen to me saying this. Oh. Is he back? I'm ready to end it.
Hello.
Yes.
All right, I'm back.
Do you want to make a blooper or I was talking while you were gone, so I guess that can work, but
A blooper?
I guess it wouldn't be a blooper if we did it on purpose, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, we did make one at the beginning.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. Well, you'll find one. You'll find something. I found something, so it just kind of comes out of nowhere. You could just like use whatever I say out of pocket, whatever
Yeah.
that made you like laugh at me. That would work. We
All
already
right.
have enough bloopers. All right. You can play the intro. I mean the outro.
I'm not gonna play it in the Discord thing because the audio is always messed up, so we can just pretend that it's playing right now. And
Oh, you want to do post production? Okay.
yeah. Everyone, thank you for sticking with us. If you did watch or listen through the whole podcast,
Enthusiasm. More enthusiastic.
thank you so much, everyone, for sticking with us. And
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please.
bro, you sound like fucking. You ever seen those TikToks where
like-
he's like,
Desperate Riz.
no,
wait,
no.
what are you talking about?
He's like, I think his name is Dreamy Bull.
No, not him, dude. I know what you're talking about.
It's like a guy who's just moaning and shit.
Yeah, the I'm about to come guy.
Yeah. Bro, that's how you sounded. Alright. Everyone, join the Discord now. Whoever joins the Discord.
So much. Thank you so much for liking the video, subscribing. Thank you so much for 7 subscribers. Thank
Give
you
us-
so much for listening this far.
Support us more so we can give you more content that you will never see from anyone else.
That's right.
This is Gwad only content.
Yes.
All right,
Like,
everyone.
subscribe.
Like the video, comment some random shit, and how about let's do this. Whoever leaves the best comment, we'll feature it in our next video.
This is a long outro.
All right, everyone.
It's been real.
It's been real.
Peace. Why don't you do it at the same time?